rich and poor gap. How can ethical market economies be encouraged to reduce the gap between rich and poor? Extreme poverty fell from 51% in 1981 to about 8% in 2022, largely due to income growth in China and India. It is expected to continue falling, but will not meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of eliminating extreme poverty by 2030. Despite poverty reduction, income gaps and wealth concentration are increasing. The richest 10% own 86% of the world's wealth, with the top 1% owning nearly 44%. Over half the world is expected to be middle class by 2030, but currently 47% of people live on less than $6.85 a day. The pandemic temporarily reduced global economic growth by 3.3% in 2020, but growth rebounded to 5.8% in 2021 before slowing down again. Inequality remains a serious issue in Africa, with 4 of the 5 most unequal countries in the world located there. AI and future technologies could lower costs and create new tax revenue, but may also exacerbate long-term structural unemployment and wealth concentration without new economic approaches. A long-term global partnership between rich and poor is needed, along with reforms like the 15% minimum corporate tax agreed upon by the G7 and OECD G20. To encourage ethical market economies, there must be fair trade, economic freedom, judicial integrity, reduced corruption, and business incentives for social and environmental goals. While income gaps between individuals are widening, the gap between nations is expected to narrow as emerging economies grow faster than advanced economies. Global income per capita grew by 12.13% in 2021, following a decline in 2020, with significant growth in formal financial account access in developing economies. What actions will help address with challenge? Explore global workforce sourcing solutions that overcome immigration and migration barriers to allow qualified workers to move to locations where they can meet the vacant skilled labor requirements. Expand microcredit and small business credit systems and business training. Establish community centers for self-employed to access advanced technologies like 3D printing, AI robotics, AI apps, and receive training in their use. Increase emphasis on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in education, lifelong learning, and retraining. Make higher education more easily available to all. Create mechanisms to help people invest in automations that replace their jobs, e.g., truck drivers manage and invest into ownership of driverless trucks. Create personal AI avatars to support self-employment. To know more about Rich-Poor Gap, go to the Millennium Project website w.millennium-project.org.
To see how this fits into the global situation and future possibilities, see the State of the Future 20.0 available on the Millennium Project website.